Hey, how's it going, everyone? I got another review for you guys. And this today is of the Emerson Gypsy Jack. This is definitely a unique Emerson line, something that I would not consider tactical like most of his knives, say like something like the CQC 13 right here with the big Bowie style blade and very ergonomic handling with the choils and everything like that, or even the CQC 15, very big blades and very stout blades. In terms of the thickness and everything, all Emersons are the same. But in terms of the style of the blade with the Tonto edge and this recurve, again with the Bowie blade on the CQC 13, or even something like the Emerson Horseman, is much more of a tactical blade. Emerson does make some new knives in his prestige line, like the Traveler or the Reliance, or even the Gentleman Jim. They're much more, to me, like EDC, but also gentleman carry knives, if you will. And I'll speak a little bit to that in terms of, Emerson's. Unless you go to the custom line with their titanium bolsters and their micarta, this hard cut G10 doesn't necessarily make for a good gentleman carry knife, I would say. Because one, it's hard to pull out of your pocket, it tears up your pocket and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so and not only that, but you have a wave feature on all those knives. Even the Gentleman Jim's got a wave feature, so it's meant to be tactical to an extent. But what you have here with the Gypsy Jack, you have a 4.1 inch blade length. You got an overall length of 9.75 inches, so almost a 10-inch blade. So even though I would classify this as a gentleman's carry, I mean, it's a really sleek looking knife. It's not something that's, I don't think, very intimidating. It's not like a Cold Steel Raja or, like the Spartan blade, those huge recurves, but you have a very thick scimitar-like blade. This is, it's very thin, very streamlined, very sleek. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it has the potential of being a good kind of gentleman's carry knife. Maybe if you were to sand down the G10 so it's not as rough and they just kind of slip in and out of your pocket. Even when you look at this pocket clip here, it's very slick. It's almost like it's painted on versus the Parkerized clip of, say, my CQC 15 right here. This is a baked on coating versus this very smooth and shiny coating. So even that effect makes it seem a little more gentlemanly. This one's got the Emerson Stonewash. This is a 2011 model. I mean, you just look at the belly, the huge belly on here, and you do have the recurve. You just kind of look at how thin the blade is here as well. Kind of reminds me of, kind of the overall width of the Horseman here. I think the Horseman is a little bit thicker, in terms of like right here, where the blade meets the pivot. So at the same time, I don't think it necessarily compromises the strength of this knife. It's definitely, there's no blade play, no up and down play whatsoever in this knife. Another reason why I wouldn't really consider this a very tactical knife is because if you think about having this knife in your pocket, one, it's very thin here, so it does actually sit well in the pocket. And I was pretty surprised by that, even though this blade comes out near here in your pocket. It sits pretty comfortably in your pocket. You're not going to sacrifice that much pocket space. I think even the CQC 13 might be a little bit wider and stuff like that. But if you can tell, if you can look here, in terms of maybe this might not be the best example because the CQC 13 still is a very big knife, but if you look at the Horseman right here, and I have a Benchmade clip on here right now, But if you look at the amount of distance that needs to travel between the top of the pocket to the wave, when you pull this out, it just kind of, it just slides straight out, with with this knife here, it slides straight out of the blade, catches the wave, and then is able to pull out very quickly. And so, but with the Gypsy Jack, it's sitting against your pocket, and so if you think of the side of your pocket, as it runs up here, it runs down this track of the blade on the top of the blade. So you have to continue to run it this long distance from here all the way down to here on the waves. I hope it makes sense, but as it's running down the pocket, it kind of comes out and then back in, and then you have to make sure that you catch the wave. It does wave out, but you've got to consciously be pulling and pushing out this way, and it's just a really kind of long and hard process to get to the wave for it to wave out. To me, like in an emergency situation, I wouldn't count on this blade waving out very well, especially on jeans. Maybe on a with khakis with side pockets and that kind of stuff, it might wave out a little bit better. But again, with the rough G10, it's rubbing hard against your pocket. It's hard to pull out. That's one issue I have with the 2011 G10. It feels great in your hand, and it grips really well. But when it's in your pocket, and if it's meant to be a very tactical knife, I would rather, the tactical aspect, the jimping to lock my finger in versus the G10. Like, I want to be able to slide it out really quick and have it at the ready if needs be. So again, in the gentleman's carry situation, you're not, going to be looking for, getting into a fight. Not that you're ever looking to get into a fight, but with that G10, with that distance between here and the wave, it's a very hard knife to wave out smoothly. So anyway, in terms of standard Emerson stuff, you got the standard Emerson clip, the G10 titanium liner lock, stainless steel on the other side, 154 cm blade, which is, it's just a great blade steel for a standard, and that's, the only option that you have with Emerson anyway. And then you got the thumb disc for deployment. Like I said, stonewash, just a beautiful. I love Emerson stonewash. The contrast between the stonewash here and the polish here. It is a conventional V grind, if you can tell there, and you can see the primary bevel on both sides right there. And then on the secondary bevel, it is chisel cut or chisel grind, just like all the other Emersons out there. All right, so I brought out these other 5 knives, or these other 4 knives here, to kind of show in comparison. These are knives that I would consider gentleman's carry. This is the Spyderco Velatin with the really smoothed out G10. This is a knife. This is actually a knife that you can wave out too, which is kind of cool. When it's sitting in your pocket catches on here and then it waves out pretty well actually. So you don't even need the a zip tie or anything like that on here. So this pulls out of your pocket very smoothly. This is very, I don't know, it's a big knife, but it's a friendly looking knife. The Lion Steel SR1, just a beautiful titanium milled out. It's again a huge knife in terms of width and all that kind of stuff, but it's a beautiful I think like artistic piece. The Martin small Tejas, very small, non-threatening knife, titanium frame lock. And then of course, the Sebenza is, the all-around utility folder. You could do it for hard use or even for gentleman's carry. I love carrying this one a lot. So, yeah. So anyway, that's my kind of quick impression of the Gypsy Jack. It's a fun knife to have. It's a great one for the collection. But in terms of everyday carry, it's going to be able to take care of all the tasks that you need. But if you're kind of combining between, I don't know, Emerson is just known to be a tactical knife company, and it makes sense with the stuff that they normally use, again, comparing to these kind of knives. So the Gypsy Jack, to me is kind of like a novelty knife, you know, that Emerson makes. Even, you know, on his website, he kind of just talks about how, you know, he thinks about like bars, and he thinks about like New Orleans. He thinks about like dancing cabaret girls when he made this knife. So take it as you will. So yeah, that's the Gypsy Jack. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's an overall cool knife. So if you have an opportunity to get your hands on it, I think you'll have fun with it. But overall practicality, you know, maybe not that much. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Bye.